It's almost time. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off.
What's cracking? I'm Nick Danger, and you're now tuned into the Art of MV. Like, share, subscribe, and by the way, welcome to the channel, and thanks for watching the video. In today's little rant, I have a couple of things to discuss. One is, it's all in the comment section, man. Shout out to my man EK, sharing with me his MV experience of copping an MV for 200 and some change. Oh man, my heart just flutters. 200 and some change because a sucker wanted to sell his MV to Guitar Silly for $100. Man. You could turn around and sell that on Reverb or eBay and flip that, man, and make your money back if it's a solid MV, fella. But I'd keep it for the value. You know how I feel. It's probably worth about $4,000 if you everything that you get in there, and an 8-track hard disk recorder, multiple effects racks, a sampler, a sequencer. Oh, and a CD player. Who still has one of those? Anyway. We got a doozy today. A little bit of discussion about what this actually is and what people accept this is. You know, from time to time, I get some people in the comment sections. That one person who's. I mean, we all wanted a successor to the MV-8000, and this hardware-wise and just feature-wise, it's just not it. This is not the MV-8000, just like the MV-8000 wasn't the MV-30, right? MV-30 was marketed to a totally different person, but it did the same thing. It was a powerful sequencer, the best sound engine at the time with the best effects on top of that sound engine, and a way to complete an entire project from inspiration to distribution. MV-30. I mean, got to give it a hand, right? In my heart of hearts, I think this is the offer that they gave us for the MV. It has MV in the name, MV-1. Most people refer to it as a Verselab. You know what I mean? And but it has a lot of the MV DNA in it, right? All the effects, the mastering suite, and the forward thinking, like this part. You know what I mean? This part is not an accident. I mean, they could have put this on the MC-101 or something. You know what I mean? On the Jupiter X, or they could have did this but they did it with the MV, the same way, but the VGA out. But anyway, I'll get to my point in a bit. But let's get to the video that I'm going to react to today, and shout out to the MIDI maniac Roger and the guys I chopped this from in the MV chat group. Appreciate that. I've been looking for this piece for a minute, and I didn't even have to go cut it. This exact part, man. So let's get to it, right?
I want to say around 2007 or 8, maybe. I remember having discussions, with the R&D.
Fair use.
From Japan.
Fair use.
And I remember sitting down at a table with Vinny, and Vinny was like, "All right, let's go have a chat." Japan sent us some mock-ups, for a potentially new MV. And so, okay, cool. And so I looked at the mock-ups and the design. Looked really cool. I was like really excited. And so then, but I already knew. I was like, okay, so internally, the sequencer, what are we looking at? And it wasn't going to be the same sequencer. They basically wanted to put like the sequencer from, I think like maybe the Phantom X, at the time. And I was like, no, not doing that. That's not an MV then.
Notice he has a Verselab sitting right behind him. There's a Verselab MV-1. Continue.
It's not even the same sampler engine. So no, like it call it something else, but it's not. That's not an MV.
No.
And I can't get behind. Like, I'm not gonna do that. No. And so
yeah, man. Okay, so there won't be a follow-up.
Oh, I'm sorry. And just one thing, kind of go off the rails sometimes.
It's no problem. I'm familiar with that.
So one of the reasons why you will not see another MV is since Roland did not design the actual sequencer and everything, it was designed by another company. That is exactly why you won't see another MV. I don't know who the company is. I never dealt with them. I don't know the names. I wasn't privy, to that information. I just remember submitting information that was relayed to that company. But that what makes the MV its magic is a combination of things. Okay, it is the S700, S750 sampling engine that is in it. That is one thing. The converters that are in it are another thing, and then of course the operating system and the sequencer. That's where all that magic is.
Yeah, that's where all the magic was, right? For 200 and some change, my man got all that magic. You know what I mean? Of the holy arts. Man, we miss Roger, man. Let's give a hand for Roger, man. That guy, man. He got so much stuff to pull from, man. Miss that guy. Shout out Roger if you peep this out, man. Shout out to you, Joe. Yo, so check this out. So you heard what he said, right? That's why it will never be a successor to that MV, is because all the components that come together to make that thing a beast. The S750 with the Bilberg converters coming out. And you got to remember, he didn't mention, but that thing has premium inputs as well. The inputs have a lot to do, not the RCA inputs, but the quarter-inch inputs have a lot to do with how that sound comes in when it's capturing sound. So the inputs and outputs are both premium. This multi-sampler and the dexterity of the S750 series sampler that is at the heart of it. It's an 808 basically in there with the dual oscillating synth and the sample engine from that, the hard disk recorder, all the classic M effects that will cost you thousands if you bought their hardware counterparts. And if you tried to buy all that stuff separately, thousands of dollars, and my man got it for $200, and that's because that was the magic, right? So that's what they're arguing about now with the MPCs. So I say it's not an MV-8000. I don't say it's not an MV because clearly, because of the name, it's an MV. It's an MV-1 Verselab, right? And it carries a lot of the DNA. It just doesn't carry that main DNA that would make it even close to the lineage. Sampler is lackluster as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it's doable, and I'm gonna show you how I use it because I'm working on sampling stuff right now. But the sequencer, those simple, I mean, come on, dude. Simple 8-bar loops, it gets tiring. It's a cool workaround to make a quick beat, and it makes you crank out stuff. But the IOs and the simplicity of the sequencer, that's where it falls off from being an MV like those. So, which one would you rather have, though? Would you rather have Roland selling us a fake MV over and over, kind of like what Akai's doing? I mean, because Akai's just rewrapping the concept of the MPC, and they're just wrapping it and rewrapping it and customizing it, but the simple workflow stays the same. It's a beat making machine, a sampler. the MVs are all studios. They're all studios. Way more valuable to me, because if you don't make one beat in the Verselab, you can use the 3,000 plus sounds and just have access to the new Zen Core engine. Like using my 8,000, slaving this to it, I got 8 tracks of the new Zen Core engine plugged coming into the inputs of the not all 8 tracks, but coming in the stereo in for the MV-1000. That alone, upgrading to the Zen Core, having access to Zenology Pro, is enough, because you can self sound design from right there. So it has way more uses than we're seeing right now. And I think over the years we're going to see people using this thing for a lot of different things. You got to remember, lots of rolling gear didn't even start to really pop until way after the popularity had waned. The 808 was in the pawn shop by the time hip hop picked it up, and it went, everything R&B went nuts with it. All the good rolling stuff didn't really get popular till later, so that's something to marinate on right there, man. But anyway, what you guys think, man? MV, yay or nay? I say yay, just not an 8,000. I see exactly what they're talking about, because you're never going to get that combination of software, sequencer, and sound as you had with the MV-8000 and other older gear like the Roland MPC, like the Akai MPC 3000s and 4000s and whatnot. So anyway, leave it in the comment section, man. Tell me what you think, and I'll check you out on the next video.